And then we know that there's this set that I used to hit when I fly through these rails and all that. So I already know kind of the gist of where things are at. All right guys, so today what I want to do is talk about a subject that keeps coming up, which is a really good one. It's called, spatial awareness. And basically, how do you map out things when you fly and you know where things are at as you fly, so you can kind of connect some lines and everything just flows together very well. And a lot of this has to do with spatial awareness. So I'm going to run through a quick few lines and just talk about the process. And the process of mapping out things and being spatially aware of your surroundings as you fly. A lot of this has to do with just experience. So I'm just going to give you a few pointers on what I would consider and what I would do just to get started with increasing your spatial awareness. It's definitely going to help you become a better pilot and all of that. So, and as I go, I'm going to talk about a few subjects as I go along, a few tips. So stay tuned. And if you like these type of videos, let me know in the comments, give me a like, share the video and all that, just to help other people get better at flying. And we'll keep it growing. Okay. All right, so spatial awareness. The best place to talk about or learn spatial awareness is like a dense area with a whole bunch of trees. That means that you can't really like hurt your quad, and it gets you a little bit more practice. So this is an area where I fly, very often, I would say, just to get better. It's like a training spot that I have. There's a whole bunch of gaps, and it's just a fun little area to fly. So let's just work through the process of being more spatially aware at a new spot. And as you fly like very spots that you're very familiar with, you're going to be naturally more spatial aware. But let's just work through the process of, I don't know, just finding out how to be more spatially aware. So the first thing I would do is, before you even fly, you should scope that spot out, figure out where things are at. But as you begin flying, just take it easy. Try to find out where, the gaps are, the trees are, the obstacles are. Like this one right here. And that's a little split gap that we could hit. The one that right there that I just hit, there's one right here. So I'm already becoming very spatially aware of where things are at. I'm not trying to push it too hard. Just going around these obstacles is going to help you even more. So, and then we know that there's this set that I used to hit when I fly through these rails and all that. So I already know kind of the gist of where things are at. But the process is still the same. You just, fly around, get familiar with a few of the obstacles, and then we'll try to link them together. So let's put a few lines together. So I know that we have a gap right here. It's a pretty easy gap. This one's kind of scraggled up, so that's one thing to keep in mind, right? We got this easier gap right here, not scraggled. We got this one with a whole bunch of ghost branches and all that, and we want to avoid that scenario. So what I'm trying to do is remember where this stuff is at. So it's not this tree, it's this tree right here, and that's one thing that I'm keeping in mind as I fly. So all right, so the next thing I want to do is kind of play with this split set that we got here. And it's just pretty cool because it just gives you a cool little shot. You kind of come onto it, and then we have this little gap right here, so we can kind of work with that. So this is all from being spatially aware, right? I'm being very mindful about which ones that I could hit that don't have branches on them, and how can I put a set together, a line together, and make it look pretty interesting, pretty cool trick. So let's just put something together now then. So what I want to do is I'm going to use this gap, probably flow through it and get that one tree right there, and then maybe go through that split. So here we go. And I'm just going to go to the split because it just flows a little bit better now that I think about it. Okay. Let's go through. And there you go. There you have it. It's kind of dirty, but at the same time, it went well. We can add to it with this little set. Let's bring it in. And that was just a quick little session on how to be a little bit more spatially aware of, you know, your lines and just the obstacles and how to tie things together, right? I first initially thought that that gap that I wanted to start out with, I came out of it and I was like, okay, well, let me go to that tree at, you know, with the gap at the top. Well, it didn't really flow together. I should have went just straight, which I did end up doing. And then I split the tree, and then I came back to the other gap that's a little higher to finish off the line. And then I went to the staircase and all that. But this is just by experience on, you know, what works, what you plan for is not always what actually happens. You want to kind of be a little bit more flexible when you run a line like that, and basically just make it look smooth, because that was a smooth line. It would have been kind of weird now that I think about it, that, hey, I'm gonna just, I don't know, make a U-turn into the gap that I initially wanted to hit, and then went to the split gap. So anyways, it worked out really well. That's just one of the, I don't know, one of the processes and what you want to do when you look and fly at a new spot. Become a little bit more spatially aware. Those are some of the standard tips I would say helps anyone become more spatially aware. If you want to see more of these videos, like spatial awareness at different other spots and more technical spots, give me a like, let me know in the comments and all that. But hopefully you guys have helped, and see you guys next one. Peace. I've been caught up in this life, don't speak my mind enough. I'm trying to keep pushing on me down, just